Hello dear students, very good morning to you all. In today's class I start the module number 4 for you. In this module we learn one of the very important topic named functions from C language. This module is really very important. If you learn about the functions in detail, definitely you want to become efficient programmer. You want to become efficient programmer. That means you can become efficient software developer. In order to become efficient software developer, we need to have the knowledge of functions available in C language. Then what are functions? Already we know how to write C programs. Look at any of the C program, we find only functions. In every C program we find functions only. Let us discuss. In every program we find the main function, isn't it? Now we call it as a main function. Wherever you find two parentheses like this, you need to read it as a function. Here which one is the function? Main is the function. What do you mean by function? Function means task. What do you mean by function? Task. Now this main function does the main task. It executes all the instructions whichever I write inside. That is the function or the task of main. What is the function or task of main? Whatever we write inside the main function, machine follows all the instruction. This is the first instruction, this is the second, this is the third, this is the fourth. That is what the function of main. Main executes all the instructions one after another to solve the given problem. That is what we know. Every C program contains one main function. Every C program includes one main function. You cannot use two main functions inside. Every C program includes how many main functions? Only one main function. Other than main, already we studied IO functions available in C language. IO functions means what? Input and output functions. Can you give me some examples for input function? Yes, scanf. Scanf is an input function that helps to read all varieties of data. getCH is unformatted input function that helps to read character, isn't it? Yes. getS helps to read string. Yes. Okay. These are all input function. Next, output functions. Printf. It helps to print the results on terminal, isn't it? Next, putCH. It prints the character. PutS. It prints the string on monitor. All these are called functions. These are input functions, these are output functions, and POW, it is a mathematical function. It calculates x raised to 2. Now this calculates x raised to 3. And SQRT, it calculates the square root of discriminant value. ABS, it converts the value from negative to positive. It converts the float absolute value into positive value, FABS, float absolute. strlen, it finds the length of the given string, isn't it? It gives the length, how many characters are there in the given string. strcpy, it copies the contents of str1 into str2, isn't it? strncpy, it copies a specified number of characters from str1 to str2, isn't it? All string handling function. strcmp, it compares both the strings are same or not same. And strcat, it joins the contents inside str1 with str2. strlwr, it converts the string into lowercase. strupr, it converts the string into uppercase. strrev, it reverses the string. Why? All these are called functions. All these are called functions, isn't it? I hope everyone is understanding. All these are functions. All functions will do some task. CL or SCR, it is a function, it clears the screen. Get CH, it gets one character, it waits, isn't it? All these are called built-in functions. All these are available in header files. All these are available in header files. To use these functions, we include header file. Then we access. The functions from header files, isn't it? If you want to use the mathematical functions, we add math.h. If you want to use input functions, we add stdio.h, in which input and output functions are available. Hash include math.h. If you add, you can use square root, abs, fabs, sine, cos, tan. Hash include string.h. You can access the string handling functions. All these are called built-in functions. All these are called built-in. There are two types of functions. One is built-in functions. Second is user-defined functions. In this module, we learn how to create our own function. User-defined functions means, what do you know? Programmer created functions. That means these are all built-in, isn't it? Get ch, clr, scr, scanf, get ch, get s, printf, put ch. All these are built-in. Like this, I want to create my own. Like this, I want to create my own. Who am I? Who are you? Programmer. Who am I? Programmer. Who are you? Programmer. Who are you? Programmer. Then you are the programmer means you need to create one function like this. The function which is created by programmer, is called user-defined function. I hope are you understanding? Yeah, I hope you are understanding. The function which is created by programmer is called user-defined function. The function which is already written, the function which is already written, the function which is already written, or the function which is already written by developers of C compiler, are called built-in functions. I hope you are understanding. In a lab, they ask how many types of functions are there. How many types of functions are there? How many types of functions? Functions are two types. Built-in functions and user-defined functions. Built-in functions means what? The functions which are already available. Functions written by developers of C are called built-in functions. I hope everyone is understanding. Then what are user-defined functions? Functions written by programmers. Functions written by programmers to do specific task. Is called user-defined function. Now, can you tell me what is a function? Function means task. Or function means subprogram. Function means a small program or subprogram. Function means what? That is also a program or small program or subprogram. It also includes instructions. Like program. Function means small program or subprogram. It also includes instructions. Whenever it runs, and one task will takes place. That means one problem will be solved. Whenever it runs, task takes place, isn't it? Whenever it runs, it does a specific work. It does a specific work. That is what the function. In exam also they ask, what is a function? What is a function? What is a function? How to answer? Function can be defined as a small program or subprogram that includes set of instructions to do specific task. Let us take one example so that you can understand. Now I create one function. I create one function that takes two numbers and returns largest number. Now for example, if you want to write any function, you have to give 3 details. You need to give how many details? 3 details. Like what is the function name? I take max. What is the function name? Max. It takes 2 inputs like int x and int y, and it returns one value, that is integer. This is what we call details. 3 details like function name. What is the function name? Can you tell me what is the function name? Max. Then how many inputs I am passing? 2 inputs. Then it returns one value. No, it takes 2 values. It returns one value of which type? Return type. 3 details means what is the function name? Function name is max, and inputs are 2, int x and int y, and it returns integer. These are the three details we give to machine. Now I am writing my own function called max. Now hash include stdio.h. Then I want to write my own function called max. It takes 2 inputs. It returns one value back. This is called function declaration. Then our usual main program starts, main function. Now I write one program to find largest of 2 numbers, int n1, n2 and answer. Then printf, enter 2 numbers. Then how to read 2 numbers? Scanf. Then I want to read 2, no, so I type %d, address of n1, address of n2. Now what I do, I will call the function answer equals to max into bracket n1 comma n2. I am calling, this is called function call. I am calling max, come here, take these values, give me the largest of 2 numbers. It takes 2 numbers and it returns the answer back to me, that is there in the answer. That one I print back on terminal. Printf /n, cursor moves down, largest number is one value. Where is it? Inside the answer. Then you may use get chr, you may not, and then the program completes. I think a little bit you are understanding. Are you all understanding? Yeah, very good. Here I informed the compiler that I am writing my own function called max. It takes 2 inputs and it returns one value. Here I am calling. You are calling, but that program is not there, error occurs. Here you are calling, that program is not there, means error occurs. You have to write that program. Where we write here int max into bracket int x and int y. Here my function started, here my function completed. This is what we call some subprogram. This is what the subprogram. Now what this function or small program does, it takes two inputs. Now can you tell me, it is taking two inputs, no? Which are those two inputs? X and Y. Okay, it takes two inputs. Important thing is that don't give semicolon here. It is most important. This is called function definition. This is called function definition. It takes two inputs X and Y, and it will check if X is greater than Y, then it returns X. That program will check whether X is greater than Y. If X is greater than Y, it returns X. Otherwise, what it returns, can you tell me? It returns Y. This is what we call user-defined function. Always it does the same task. Always it takes two numbers. It takes numbers like X and Y. It compares. If X is greater than Y, then it returns X. Otherwise it returns Y. Now whether this function returns one value or two values, one value it returns. It takes two values, but it returns one value. The value whichever it returns is integer. Now this is one perfect C program in which we created one function called max. Now I explain slowly, please listen. Now one question, write a C program to find largest of two numbers or two integers using a function. The question is like this. Now you have to write one program that takes two numbers and finds the largest using a function. Oh, using a function means we have to create our own function. So hash include stdio.h. I am writing my own function called max. It takes two integers and returns one integer back. Here no need to give X and Y. You can write simply int comma int also. What is the meaning of int comma int? It takes two integers and it returns one integer back. These are dummy names. You may give or you may not. You may give or you may not. Remember it for forever. But here you have to give one. Here you have to type int x separately, int y separately. Don't type like this int x comma y. This is wrong. This is wrong. Don't type like this. Don't type like this. Okay. You have to type separately and don't use semicolon. Now I informed the machine that I am writing my own function called max and it takes two integers. Then my main program started. I have taken n1, n2 and answer. One n1 memory, n2 memory, answer memory, no values inside, garbage values. Clears the screen, enter two numbers. I enter 10 and 50, assume like that, 10 and 50. 10 will be stored in n1, isn't it? Yes, 10 will be stored in n1 and 50 will be stored in n2, isn't it? Yes, you are clever, you are intelligent, very good. Then I am called, hey max, come here and take values 10 and 20. I am calling max, I am passing max into bracket 10 comma 50 and max will give me one answer back. Max gives me. Now whenever you call max with 10 and 5, that 10 will be transmitted to x. Where that comes? That comes to x variable. I am giving two values 10 and 50. Max received it. Max is another person. He is assistant for me. I called, hey Max, come here, take 10 and 50. Max received 10 and 50 from who am I? I am a main boss. I am a boss, Bean is a boss. I am calling all the assistants. I am calling clear screen, come here and clear it. A printf, print the message. Scanf, please read the input. Max, take two numbers and give me the largest. Printf, print it. Get ch, wait it. Who am I? Main. Main calls built-in functions as well as user-defined function to do specific task. This is built-in function, this is built-in function, this is built-in function. Here I am calling user-defined function, here built-in function, here built-in function. Now this max, this is 10 and 50. Then max will check 10 is greater than 50. Max is checking 10 is greater than 50. No means else part works. That means he returns 50 to me. If this condition is true, this works. Otherwise, this, as we know all, this is true block and this is false block. One of the block works, isn't it? Now this returns y, 50. That 50 will be stored in answer. Oh, I hope you are understanding. Now answer is how much? 50. Then boss will print largest number is 50. Program is over. I think everyone has understood. I hope you understood. I explained you how to create our own function. Now I will revise. First we studied what is a function. Function means task, and if you want to become software engineer, you need to have the knowledge of functions so that you can become efficient programmer or software developer. We need to have the knowledge of functions, and functions means what? And in every program we find functions, isn't it? And in every program, main is the only one function, S. Inside the main we use other functions. Function of main is it executes all the functions inside, so the developer Dennis Ritchie named it as a main function. Function means task. Function means small program or sub program. See here, you can see it. Function is a small program, isn't it? It is a small program. Here function started, here completed. It also includes instructions, first, second, third, fourth, and whenever you run, a specific work takes place, isn't it? That is what the answer for the question. Function means a small program or a sub program. It includes instructions. Whenever it runs, it does specific work. How many types of functions are there? There are two types: built-in functions and user-defined functions. The functions written by developers are called built-in. Examples are many in all header files. User-defined functions means we are all programmer. Functions written by programmers to do specific tasks are called user-defined function. And let us write one function that takes two numbers and returns the largest number. And how to write it? It is so easy. Hash include h. This is called function declaration, or you can call it as a function prototype also. Function prototype also. We give how many details? 3 details: max, 2 inputs and 1 output of the type integer, semicolon. And 2 inputs n1 and n2, we receive 1 value, so answer, then clear the screen, enter 2 numbers, and we are passing here. This is called function call. We get the result back, that is what we print. My program started, my program is completed. This is what the function. It is not compulsory that you have to give the name as max only. You can give another name like large, and while calling also you can use it as large, and here also you have to write it as large. This is what the function. I hope you understood. In my notes I have written the notes like this. As we know, every C program permits the programmer to make use of only one main function. Yes, we know every C program contains only one main function to solve a problem. It is very difficult for the programmer to solve large and complex problem by using only one main and by using only built-in. Oh, it is very difficult. So sometimes we have to create our own functions to solve our problem. No, Dennis Ritchie has not given all functions. We have to create some functions according to our need in companies. Hence, programmers need to write their own functions. Own functions means programmers like us, they write their own programs to do specific work. They divide the work. For every work, one separate program to do specific divided task. These subprograms written by programmers are called subprograms or user-defined functions or modules also. All modules. You can take our syllabus. Our syllabus is divided into 5 modules. Module 1, Module 2, Module 3, Module 4, Module 5. That large problem is divided into small modules, topics, and they are given different name like that. The programming approach in which the given large and complex problem will be divided into smaller small programs is called modular programming approach. Now see this example. Here, what is it clears the screen, it prints it, it reads it, it calls and receives the result after sending the inputs, and work is divided. No, it allocates the memory and it clears the screen, it prints it. Task is divided into many sub functions, isn't it? Its work is to print, its work is to read, its work is to print, its work is to wait, take input, its work is to return the largest of 2. This is called modular programming approach. What is modular programming approach? Dividing the problem into small problems and solving. That is called modular programming approach. Then what is a function? A function can be defined as a subprogram that also contains group of statements to do specific task. Then what are the advantages of functions? Okay, I give one more example so that you can understand all these advantages. A reduction in the size of main function. Now one question to you, whether have you written any code to clear the screen? No. Wherever you use CLR/SCR, it clears the screen. That means there is a separate program called CLR/SCR in Conio.h. This function is available in which header file? Conio.h. Without including also it works in higher version, though, so we are not including that header file, not to worry. Means printf is a program, it is available in stdio.h. scanf is a program available in stdio.h. large is a program, it is here only. Printf is a program available in stdio.h. Means size of the main is reduced, isn't it? Size of the main. I hope you are not understanding. I explain one story to you so you can understand. Now I am the boss. And I have my sister's marriage is there in my family, so I take the help of others. John, I take the help of John. John, please take the arrangement of breakfast. Do the breakfast arrangement for all the participants. And I assign someone work to Jasmine. Jasmine, can you do the decoration work? Can you do the stage decoration and everything? And I assign one more work to Claire. Claire, can you do the arrangement of lunch arrangement? Then Albert, can you do the arrangement of dinner? I assign some work to somebody. I assign one work to John, that is breakfast arrangement. I call, hey John, breakfast is okay? Yes. I am calling the John. John is working there. Then I am calling Jasmine, whether have you decorated the stage? Yes. Okay. Then I call whom? Oh, Claire, whether lunch is ready? Claire. I am calling Claire. Claire, lunch is ready? Yes. Then I call Albert. Albert, dinner is ready? Like this I call many. Like this I call many, isn't it? There is a reduction in the size of main, isn't it? I am the boss, my work is reduced, isn't it? My work is reduced. This is what we call main function. This is what the main, and I am calling user-defined function. I hope in your family also you take the help of others. Whenever there is a function in your home, you call your friends to do help. No, those your friends are nothing but assistants. They are helping you. They are doing their assigned work. These are all user-defined functions. John, Jasmine, Claire, Albert. In my example, Max is the assistant for me. Then this is called modular programming approach, dividing the task among many and solving. This is called modular programming approach. And you can see the advantages. Reduction in the size of boss. Yes, my work is reduced. Reusability. You can call them as and when needed, isn't it? You can call John many times, how many times you want. You can call the assistants as many times you want. Like that you can call the Max also many times. You can call the large, wherever you want to find the largest of two numbers, you can call it. How many times you use printf? Many times. How many times you call scanf? Many times. That is what the second advantage. Reusability of the written function. Then program maintenance, testing and debugging is easier. Your maintenance will be easier, no? You are calling John, Jasmine and everything. And you can ask them whether everything is okay. You can test them. And if any error occurs, BUZ bug means error. Debug means removing the errors. If there is a problem with stage decoration, then to whom you call? Can you tell me? If you are getting error with stage decoration, I call Jasmine. I call whom? Jasmine, because that is the task assigned to Jasmine. If there is a error in dinner, I ask Albert. If there is a error in lunch, then I ask Claire. There is a problem with breakfast, then I ask John. Debugging is easier, and these can be shared among many C files. Once you create the functions like this, these are all the functions written by you, then it is your header file. I give, this is the team of Kusur sir, then kusur.h, and whenever you add kusur.h, you are able to access all these assistants. Are you understanding? In kusur.c, means I write the file name as kusur.c. In kusur.c, all these are available. Hash include kusur.c. Whenever you add, you are able to access John, Jasmine, decoration, and everything. So this is what, and you can share. No, this is what functions can be shared among many C files. Programmers can create their own functions library like header file. Now kusur.c is acting like a header file, isn't it? Instead of C, they named it as a header file there. Okay, no problem. I hope little bit you are understanding. And modular programming approach. Larger problem is divided into small problems and assigned to others. This is what advantages. I hope you understood. Are you understanding? I explain in brief. Function means small program. A small program includes many instructions that does specific work, and create once and use many times. And boss work could be reduction in the size of main. Program can be maintained easily, tested easily, errors can be removed easily. These functions can be shared not only by you, by others also. You can give your C file, they include and they use, and you can create your own library and modular programming approach. How many types of functions? There are two types, built-in and user-defined. Built-in means like scanf, printf, get ch, power, square root, malloc, string length, string copy. User-defined function. In the next videos, I teach you how to create our own function, like it takes one number and tells us whether that is prime number or not prime number. It takes one number and gives me the factorial. It takes two strings and copies str2 into str2. I give the array and number of elements, it will sort. I give two numbers, it makes the sum. These things I teach in the next video, already available. You can search and watch these videos. And just only I taught elements of user-defined function. To write our own functions, function declaration, function call, function definition. Just only I told you. These are the three elements of user-defined function. Which are the three elements of user-defined function? Function declaration and function call and function definition. In VTU exam, you get elements of user-defined functions. You need to explain about three: function prototype, function call, function definition. And okay, I hope you might have tired. In the next video, I explain elements of user-defined functions. Already you know. You have to explain, write the syntax, function name, inputs and return type. Function call, I am calling the functions here, and here I am writing. Shall I explain now? Yes, I explain. Right. Now there is a flow, you can understand. Elements of user-defined functions. In order to design and develop user-defined function, the programmer needs to establish and use the following three elements of user-defined functions: function prototype or function declaration, function call, function definition. The programming example that includes all the three elements is as follows. Function declaration, function name, how many inputs it takes, which value it returns. Return type, whether it returns integer, you write int. If it returns float, write float. If it is character, double. If you won't mention anything, it assumes integer, default. That's why we write void. Void means it will not return any value. Valid function name and valid identifier. Function name must be valid identifier. Argument list, okay, means how many inputs you pass. I am writing my own function called sum. It takes two values, it gives one value back. I write my own function called area. It takes one value as radius and it returns. It takes one value, it will check whether it is prime or not. Sum up to integers. And the area of circle, it takes radius, pi r square it returns. It will take one number, it tells us whether that number is a prime number or not prime number. Here these are all the examples for function declaration or prototype. These are all function call. I am calling square, come here, take the value, give me the result back. Cube, come here, take the value and give me the cube, and I take the value back. These are all function call. And function definition means there is the program. We have to write function name, how many inputs it takes, which value it returns. Then if variables requires there, define it, then that does specific work, and return and value. This is called syntax. Example, I am writing my own function called sum and it takes two integers and gives one value back. it receives x and y, it returns x plus y. This is function definition. You can see one more example. I think you might have tired. Please, you can pause and you can watch after having tea break also, no problem. Okay, please watch sincerely, and whether are you understanding or not, kindly reply. To find sum of two numbers, you write one function to find sum of two numbers. It is so easy. Hash include h0h. I write my own function called sum. It takes two integers and it returns one integer back. Void main int n1 n2 answer CLR is CR. Enter any two numbers. I enter 7 and 3. 7 will be stored in n1, 3 will be stored in n2. I am calling sum, come here, take 7 and 3. The 7 is transmitted to x, 3 is transmitted to y. 7 plus 3 10, it returns 10. 10 will be stored in the answer. Then it prints addition is 10. Then the program waits. This is function prototype, this is function call, this is function definition. I hope are you all understanding? Yes. In exam, if you get a question on functions, I request you to write this example. It is so easy, and don't forget to write the comments like this: function prototype, function call, function definition, please. And this is one more example to find square and cube of a number. I write two functions. One calculates the square, one calculates the cube. Function name is square. It takes one input and it gives one output. Cube is another function. It takes one integer and it gives one integer back. You can write int x also here. Int space x, int space y. Dummy names, as I told you already. You may write or you may not. But here you have to write. Here you have to write. Then n, I need n variable so that you can store the entered number. Answer 1 and answer 2. Answer 1 will have the square, answer 2 will have the cube. Entry number 2, square of 2 is 4, cube of 2 is 8. This is what the program, but by using function. I enter 2 will be stored in n. I am calling square, come here and give me the square. This n will be transmitted to, you can see the function here. Function name is square, it takes x, returns x into x. Function name is cube, it takes x, returns x into x into x. It returns square, it returns cube. These are the functions I am calling here. Square into bracket n, n is transmitted to x, x is multiplied with x, it returns square, and n is transmitted to x, x multiplies to x, and x, it returns the cube. Answer 1 is saying the square, answer 2 is saying the cube. It prints the square is so and so, cube is so and so. Program is over. Function declaration. Two functions are declared. I am calling two functions. I have written two functions. Next function to find factorial. In next class I explain to students. Now you can go through these things. Function to find factorial, function to check entered number is prime number or not, and function to copy. Please go through, you'll understand. Otherwise I explain in the forthcoming videos. I hope everyone has understood. If you have understood, please I request you to kindly reply, write the comments, and thank you. Have a nice day.